The USMNT have another embarrassing loss, losing to Canada and finishing fourth place in the Nations League tournament. This is not rock bottom, but obviously not a good start to the Pochettino era. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to MLS Moves. Please make sure you like this video down below. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the Club World Cup. And with your help, I know we can do it. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and hit the little bell notification so you never miss a video. I brought back my friend Adam Turner to talk about the Nations League recap and what he thought about the USMNT and if they have progressed through this camp and how he's feeling afterwards about Pochettino and the roster we currently have. Now, onto the video. Well, I brought back my friend Adam Turner to, sadly, we're concluding this Nations League fourth place finish for the USMNT. Adam, man, I don't know about you, but I would assume we can both agree we did not see us finishing fourth place, man. We lost both games, Panama and Canada. What's your takeaways? Obviously, the Panama game was a disaster, but what is your takeaways from this loss to Canada today?
Let's just start here, right? Like you and I, we'll put it out there. And I do videos with Tack. I've done videos with Pete on 11 Yanks. Very critical of Berhalter, all of us, right? We were very critical of the last 3-4 years of the Berhalter era. So let's just put that out there, right? I was not critical of the Berhalter era up until 2021, right? I gave him a solid 2+ years, right? And I think when Berhalter was fired, a lot of people, and I see it on Twitter now, like, oh, if this was Berhalter, people would be lighting him up. I'm like, man, like, check out the video I'm about to do with my guy Will and Tack. I am gonna light Poch's ass up. I am not. Listen, I was really optimistic about Poch. You and I did multiple videos, really excited. We thought that this era could be, hopefully something that could really ignite the fan base and ignite the team for 2 years. But we're gonna call it straight, man, right? And like I'll say, if this era ends as badly as it seems to be going, I hope it doesn't. We can talk about that. Hand up, man. You and I will be the first. Hand up. I got it wrong, bro. Like, I got it wrong. Because right now, we got it wrong. Like, and, it's an unfinished symphony. There's a story to still be told. But, like, my God, like, I want to go really big and broad first and then hear your thoughts on this. It looks like to me, a coach that either has lost a team, but in this case, I don't think he's gained the team to lose them yet, right? So it's just like he hasn't gained them or gotten them. And it just they look totally disconnected, totally, like in this game, like I just think watching Pulisic's mannerisms and the way he's playing, Gio when he comes on the field, a lot of the other guys after the goals, like it just looks like a basketball team that is giving up a 25-2 run. And like at all times, like all week, bro. It just looked like we were giving up a 25, and we didn't get blown out but in either game, but like it just, the mannerisms and body language were not that of a team that's self-assured, understands what they're supposed to be doing. And so that's the big picture. We can get into the tactics and stuff, but like that bled into everything to me, right? That bled into the way we defended. That bled into the way that we moved without the ball. That bled into, the way that we shared the ball, the way that, we were trying to build up. The way we defended, the effort with which we defended, I thought, well, we're going to be a Poch team. He's not playing Gio because we're going to play hard because we're playing hard. Like guys weren't off the ball, like digging and going. And we said that after the first game. I was hoping maybe because of the low block, there was some frustration and stuff, but like it was there tonight against Canada, man. The game was there. It was open and we had like one shot in 60 minutes. Like, so I don't know, man. It's bad. It's real bad. And we could talk about who to blame. But to me, like I'm staring right at you, Poch. Like, and the players, we know where the players are at. But I thought Poch was going to be able to get more out of these guys. And he's getting the same that Greg Berhalter, an average MLS coach, got out of these dudes. So, like, what's going on?
That is just talking about the big picture, like what you just mentioned, right? I mean, there were maybe one or two bright spots, and we'll get into those a little bit later. But from top to bottom, man, SoFi, empty. Nobody there. Effort, non-existent. Pochettino, nothing different, like you said, than Greg Berhalter. Like, honestly, this is fourth place finish. Lose 2 games. I mean, we talked about jokingly about getting bounced in Copa America and getting grouped. We joked about that. That happened. maybe we're bad luck or something. Maybe we speak the bad omens into existence. I don't know. But losing both of these games is inexcusable, man. Like Panama is a team I respect. I'm not saying they're bad, but come on, dude. We are more talented than Panama. And if we're not, something is wrong if we're not more talented than Panama. And then playing Canada, man, this is a game that, I said this in the last episode that this is a rivalry that is kind of almost getting closer and closer to the Mexican level of hatred and just, back and forth. But dude, they have been absolutely, taking our lunch money the last couple games. Like Jesse Marsh has just had our number, dude. He's had our number. And, Pochettino, you talked about like can't lose the team if you never had the team. It just feels like, I think I saw Tack say this. It feels like he is like doing this part-time. No emotion. No emotion. Honestly, kind of like looks checked out on the sideline. When they scored that goal in the 27th minute, he was standing the whole time before that goal. When they scored that goal, Canada did, I forgot who it was that scored it. He sat down the bench after they scored the goal. Like, I feel like that's when you need to be more, energetic and like trying to like light a fire under your guy's ass. And I agree, man. There feels like there is a disconnect between the coach and the players. I don't remember who said this, Adam, but it was somebody, maybe it was Alexi, maybe it was Twelman. I can't remember who it was, but they said they were nervous about having a foreign coach because they didn't think they would connect with our players. That was their biggest concern. And I kind of shrugged it off. I'm like, look, if you're a good coach, doesn't matter where you're from, you will get the best out of your players. That I don't care about language barrier or anything. Good coach is coach, right? But man,
a bunch of our guys aren't American, though. Like, just being honest, right? Like, a bunch of our guys are international. This is a melting pot team. It's not a bad take. Like, and most of them have been coached by internationals their entire pro careers at this point. Like, a majority of the A team. But keep going, because I know what you're going to say, and it's legit. Like,
yeah, but honestly, like, I'm starting to, I don't know. I just think it's a bad combination of just everything going wrong. Poch doesn't care. He's not connecting. Something's going to have to give really quick. We only have 2 friendlies left before Gold Cup. And that's Turkey and Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken, which is going to be like a week before the Gold Cup starts. So there's a lot of question marks with little time to get answers. And man, I'll be honest with you. Copa America was, I was talking to this with my friend Vince Maduri this weekend, and he said in the last 10 years, what are the 3 worst moments in USMNT history? And number 1 was definitely Trinidad, right? Obviously not qualifying for the World Cup. Number 2 was Copa America getting grouped. And I think losing to Panama was number 3. I really believe losing that game and just how the audience was, that was probably just because of we should have played better than that. And then obviously losing today, just capitalize it. Coming in 4th place in the Nations League is by far the 3rd worst thing that's happened in the last 10 years to the USMNT.
Holistically, I felt worse when we lost to Panama away in World Cup qualifying, but that didn't end poorly, so it's fine. But it certainly is up there, though, right? I mean, it's past those top 2, it's in the conversation. So here's I want to give you my take on the players, right? I think this player pool are like lost puppy dogs. I think they had a really crappy coach, just being honest, who a lot of them liked. It reminds me, hopefully, Coach Wood, you're not listening to this, but it reminds me of my college coach. Sweetheart of a guy. Like, we all really liked him, but we knew he was like kind of out of his depth a little bit, and like when we got into big games against good coaches, like he was out of his depth, and we all knew it. And it was kind of like, and it was depressing, And I wish I could tell you I was different than our players my senior year of college, but I wasn't. I was kind of a bitch. I look at our players and I empathize. I really do, because it's not the right thing. I look back at myself and I'm like, man, why couldn't I just been a dynamic leader? Even though our coach was trying to set us up with like an overload offense against a 1-3-1, like it was a 2-3, like just wild stuff that is an average basketball mind. I was like, what are we doing? And it just made me depressed. And like, there were no answers. And like, all of us like 6 guys were in my wedding from my basketball team. It's not like we didn't love each other. We loved each other. But if you were around my team, my senior year, Will, you would be like, these guys hate each other and they hate basketball and they hate this coach. and they hate life, you know? And sometimes as a team, I'm just being honest, like sometimes as a team, you are not doing the right thing and you are being soft, right? And you are not stepping up because of extenuating circumstances. And what our guys need to do, forget Poch, forget the coach, forget the federation, forget everyone. Like somebody needs to call like a player only meeting. We're flying to Switzerland. We're doing a weekend together. Like screw everyone else. We're coming together, right? Core 15, 20, I don't care. 40, I don't care how many guys, but somebody needs to lead, right? And like it can just be, and this is what I wish I'd done senior year. I wish I just stepped up and was like, screw it, guys. This is the coach we have. But you know, there's a saying in basketball, right? Like that if 5 guys play together for a bad coach, not a bad coach, but with poor tactics, not set up well, all that stuff in basketball, right? It's way better than 5 guys playing for a poor coach with poor tactics, all divided. Like now you have no chance. And that's what I see, right? I don't see us set up well with Poch right now. I just don't. Our guys aren't comfortable with what we're doing. It's just like Berhalter. I have the same exact critiques. We seem lost. Like we don't seem to have a plan. We seemed out-coached in both games. Like it seemed like the other coach just had our number in both games. And this is CONCACAF, right? This is Jesse March and Panama. Like, come on, man. Like you're Poch. Like you're getting total. Like that just screams to me the guy's not doing homework. The guy's not putting it in. Like I can't believe Poch is getting out coached by these guys, like and putting in effort. I really can't. But like, so what I'm seeing, I'm diagnosing an issue here, but I'm seeing a coach who maybe doesn't care. I don't know that for sure, but like when that happens, players stop dividing. That is on you. You guys are dividing. You're not finding a way to come together. You're not finding a way to say F it. We know leadership has been an issue with this team. There seems to be no dynamic internal leadership once again. And so what you see is a bunch of players not playing anywhere close to their potential, right? And I once again, I always pointed to the systemic problem, which was Berhalter. I still think the systemic problem is we're not being set up properly. We're not being coached dynamically. I do think that's systemic, but absolutely 100% players, like it's been 3 years. Figure it out. Play hard. Figure out a way to play hard now, guys. Put it like we didn't have a dynamic coaching when we went to the quarterfinals. Like Bruce Arena was a motivator. He wasn't a tactical genius, but he got those guys to play hard. So like,
To believe.
okay, if Poch isn't getting you to play hard, somebody get us to play hard. Like looking at you, Pooley, looking at you, Wes, you guys aren't 21 anymore, man. You're 25 going on 30. Like it's time. Like it's time that somebody gets mad. And somebody
it's now or never.
Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to like, no, bro. Like, I want to see somebody with urgency and then I want to hear about somebody doing something about it.
It's now or never. And I have to mention this. Shout out to Coach Wood, poor bastard. Hopefully, you're not a USMNT fan.
No
hopefully.
First name, right? Like
no first name, Coach Wood. But man, I agree with you. Like I tweeted this and I thought about after episode more and more talking with other people about, I think I would take heart over talent in some circumstances because this team is more talented than other teams we had in the past. And I don't know if you got a chance to see what Eric Winalda, I know he's a controversial figure, but I like what he said. He said, at least when I put the kid on, you knew I gave a shit. Right. You knew I was laying it all on the line. I was going to do anything and everything I possibly could to win that game for the USMNT.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
There's an entire podcast about the 98 World Cup, right? And how as soon as they got coached poorly, Alexi shut down, right? I don't know if you've ever talked to, I'd be interested to do a whole podcast with Alexi about the 98 World Cup, if you'd be open to talking about it, because this is what these guys have been going through, in my opinion, for 3 years. Like, I think they're like looking around for leadership from coaching and being like, this is crazy. Like, this is wild stuff. And those guys shut down, man. Like, I listened to a whole podcast about it. They totally divided as a team. Guys sleeping with each other's wives, like guys saying, screw this, I don't want to play that position. So, like, we over-glorify old guys sometimes. I just want to say that when the coaching wasn't great for those guys, they also had a cycle that looks similar to what we're seeing. And that's on them as players, right? Like, they should have been better, and these players need to be better. But if we overlook the coaching, we're also doing a disservice here, right, Will? We can't overlook the player accountability, for sure. Like, it's time for internal player accountability and to stop looking elsewhere for it. Screw it. Like, And somebody needs to be the dude who's going to speak up, or you're just going to sleepwalk to getting grouped. Like,
I just can't believe how in years past we did have so many leaders on the pitch that were just born leaders. They were. They would do anything and everything to get their team. But it's like we had that, and now we have the polar opposite of so many guys who are just not leaders. Like a huge collection of guys who are just not dogs, don't have the heart.
Not dogs.
And
not dogs.
They're not dogs at all. And, you know, I know Landon Donovan is very controversial too, but he was talented and he was a dog. He had the heart, man. He did. And Tim Howard did, and Clint Dempsey did. Like, these guys had the heart and they laid it all on the line for us to win. And
yeah, we're dogless, bro. Like we're a cat lady.
We are a cat lady. We're a single cat lady.
We're the old single cat lady in the apartment, man, with like 13 cats. And like I just need somebody to growl, man. Somebody's at the door. Can we get somebody to growl? Like
nothing,
just one.
Man.
Like just one human, bro. Like,
and that's the thing too, Adam, is I feel like this generation, right? I feel like a boomer saying this generation. It makes me feel like one. But I do feel like this generation, they use the word entitled, but they feel like they're doing charity work for us, man. Obviously, playing for Milan, playing for Juve, playing for Betis or Dortmund is a higher standard than what we had 10, 15 years ago for certain players, right? And I feel like they think coming down to the USMNT is a step below what they do at the club level. And them playing for us is charity work. So when they're on the pitch, they're entitled. You think Pulisic is ever worried about his starting spot being in jeopardy for the USMNT, even if he's playing bad?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not.
McKinney? No. Adams? No. Now, Adams has been hurt, but like when he's healthy, has he ever worried about his spot being in jeopardy? Nobody does.
To be honest, half our team is freaking hurt every camp, so nobody's worried. Like
nobody's worried.
Seriously, like we should be able to kind of push each other right now, but the options are like, hey, and I saw you tweet this earlier, like, I'm not bringing these guys to the Gold Cup. It's like totally valid point, but like that's like punting, in my opinion. Like it's a long camp. Like that's a long tourney. That's a group stage tourney with knockouts. Like if we're not bringing the guys that we need to perform in the World Cup to that because we need to hold them accountable, like to me, like we have punted. Like the chances of success the following summer are already out the door. So it's like it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because I see the logic, which is like we need to start holding guys accountable, but also like how can you hold guys accountable? You have like one real meaningful competitive thing left. This is it. Like, I don't know, maybe there's Nations League next year. I don't even know if Nations League counts at this point. It's such a joke. Like, I think like
it is.
It's just such a joke. It's like the Gold Cup has been a joke in the summers, in my opinion. Like,
it has.
Mexico fans will tell you different, but like we're sending BC squad and like we're treating it like a total joke. Nations League has been the thing we've been up for, but like at this point, it's like I didn't see it. Like, I don't know. The Pops was treating it like friendlies, man. Like,
that's what they were saying. They were saying that I think someone reported that he was, I think to your point, was intending to take an MLS-based team to the Gold Cup this summer. This was supposed to be like the reassurance tournament of like everything works if your A team's on there. That didn't pan out. So now they're probably going to have to take most of the stars to that tournament.
Do that. You need that time with the A team. The summer camp is the longest you have with them, you know?
Yeah.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like that could be up to like 3+ weeks together.
I think it was, I think that it starts in June and I think it doesn't end until like middle of July. So it could be even close to a month.
Yeah. Sorry. The competition's like 3 weeks, a little over, I think. But then, you're right. They're together usually for some friendlies before maybe and like tune up. And so I don't know, like to me, that's the other thing we've been missing. If you want my opinion, is like the U.S. national team used to always have the Gold Cup, which was an extended period of time together. And we've punted on that with our A team, and our A team's done this abbreviated Nations League thing. And the thing is like over time, right? And this is a point I haven't really seen brought up, but like over time, the way that our guys have been injured, which is almost like staggered, you know, it's like these 4 core are injured, then these 4 or 5, then these, like, we just have never had a chance where like, man, for like a year straight, we at least get like 80-90% of the dudes in together. And we go do the Euros. Like, obviously, we're not doing the Euros, but that's what Gold Cup is for us. It's the only thing we have that replicates the length of time, right?
Yeah.
It's like only the World Cup has been close to that. I guess Copa last year actually probably was. We got grouped, so it, killed
It was
about
early.
but like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like there's just something there that it's like this team has not clicked. Like they've not clicked. They don't believe in each other. There's no trust. There's no leadership. There's no trust in, the coaching, the federation. I just don't, there's not a, symbiotic thing going on. It's so disjointed. The chances that Poch or anyone else rescues it at this point is pretty low. Like it would need to be like a 180 going into the summer to see us do something different. And like, once again, the optimistic view is it's only game 5, game 6, but like, I don't see us like a couple tactical things away. I see us belief away. I see us like, motivation and, internal belief and confidence in each other. All these just vital things are missing that are intangible, right? But, good coaches can capture it, but it's pretty intangible. Like, oh, how do you get guys confident? Well, there's no like, let's run these tactics. It's tough. And what's even more, I want to ride Poch a little more here, man. Like I don't have a Poch tracker, right? I'm not like, I don't have the Poch tracker out on the GPS, but man, from the people who track him pretty significantly, and I am on Twitter every day a lot, I see him in Europe. I don't see him at our guys' games. I don't see him connecting with he already had a hard job, right? And so I'll just say this as a former coach. To hold someone accountable, you must first have a relationship. I'll repeat that. To hold someone accountable, you must first have a relationship. If you want to pull Pulisic and bench him and you don't have a relationship, it's gone. It's done. I mean, that's Landon Donovan and Jurgen. It's just it's an issue, right? But if you have a relationship with someone first and they trust you, then when you hold them accountable and you say, I'm benching you for this reason, they know that you believe in them. They know that you're invested in them. They're invested in you. You can do it. It still might be a little ugly and it still might be contentious, but there's an underlying relationship that accountability leans on, right? If you don't have an underlying relationship and then you try and hold players accountable, it collapses, right? And it's the reason
100%.
why I never was as hard on my freshmen as I was on my juniors and seniors, right? Now, I was hoping by the end of freshman year, I could hold guys more accountable, but I needed to lay groundwork. I needed to go to lunch. I needed to invest in the relationship with them. I needed to have them over to my house with my family and have dinner. I needed to get to know them. I needed months where they knew, oh, coach has my back, right? I got in academic trouble. Coach came to the rescue, helped me out, set me up with tutor, like all this little stuff, right? Like how you build that as a national team, I don't know, but I would imagine it's by going to people's games occasionally, right? Or and Berhalter, to his credit, did stuff like that. He went and had dinners with guys. He went and I don't see Poch doing any of that work. So when they get to camp, how many times do these guys fucking talk to him? I was in camp with you a couple times and I chatted with you a little bit. We talked about tactics, but is that it? So
I mean, Berhalter was giving life advice to these guys, saying that, yeah, if I have something going on in life, I'm calling coach up. He's telling me what to do. He's I'm not saying,
and that's fine. Listen, and you don't need that. It's fine. To me, people criticize that. I thought that was stupid. It's fine. If that's the relationship Tyler Adams had with him, cool. But you don't need to do that. You just need to show you care outwardly. It's not.
This is polar opposite, though. This is polar opposite of just not.
Bro, you want to be a Premier League coach. You want to be a coach in big leagues. Just go to their games. Do 2 at once. Build your relationships. Go to a Bournemouth Man U game and see Tyler Adams. The next day, go over and watch Norwich play. And okay, maybe that's a little sacrifice, and you don't want to be a championship coach, but you're there. Just go watch soccer. Don't you love soccer? Can't you also connect with the GMs and people you want jobs from in a couple years? It just is stupid. I'm going to be harsh on Poch because I haven't seen him do the work yet, man. He doesn't seem to be doing the work that it takes in between camps to I don't know what he's done scouting wise, but do you think he understands the player pool after this camp? Well,
no,
I don't, it seems lost, bro. I don't know, man. I don't get it.
And he's making $6 million a year to essentially, like you said, play. He's getting paid even when he's not hosting a camp. He's supposed to be doing some stuff outside. I mean, if you're getting paid $6 million to go be a spectator of a game, watch your players, man. I mean, how is that hard? You just need to go watch them, talk to them. Like you said, have a relationship with them. Go watch Milan Juve.
Man. Go have a
go
lunch.
Have dinner.
Go watch training and go grab lunch at the facility if you don't even want to go out. Like all these places have literal like buffet and fine dining at their facilities. Like just show you care. Connect with the coaches while you're there. Connect with I don't know, man. I see a coach who so far I haven't seen him do the work he needs to do to build the
bare minimum, right? He's doing the bare minimum.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, I don't know, he showed up at the camps. That's what I've seen. I haven't seen anything else. And I could be missing something. I'll be fair. Like, we could be missing something. But that I got to call it how I see it, right? I called Berhalter how I saw it for the last 3 years, and people didn't like it. I'm going to call it how I see it with Poch now, right? And like, if he's not going to do that work now, it's March, right? If he's not going to do that work over the next there's 2 months of club season left. He needs to go do that work. Like, I
agree. No, let's talk a little bit because I think this is important about these players. Like especially in this game, we saw a guy who looks like is going to be one of Poch's favorite players, or a guy that could be in the rotation. Diego Luna had a good game. I think he was the best player on the pitch for us today. Honestly, I think he was by far the best player, and he looked like he just played with passion. He looked like it mattered. Like he was proving something today. And, that was one of the things we talked about earlier about players, like a guy who's playing RSL obviously doesn't feel as comfortable as a guy playing at Milan as far as like where his career is. He's only 21 years old. And that makes me wonder if Diego Luna is someone that we could see start. And you said something that was very interesting earlier. You said that you thought that Diego Luna had done more in his 4 appearances than you've ever seen Malik Tillman do in 18, 17 appearances he's had for the USMNT. Now that would be a hot take for some because, some fans, you're not biased where you can't admit that an MLS player can be better than someone playing in Europe. But I think that's going to get some fans upset that a guy for PSV is not as good as a guy for RSL. But I think he's better, man, for this team.
Based on what I've seen for club, I don't think the gap is as big as some would probably make you think it is. I do think Tillman's a more talented player. I do think he has more high-level ability. And I think if I was a scout, I would be more apt to want Tillman in my program to develop him than Luna. I don't think the gap's that large, though. But I do think that's the case. But the problem is, at the end of the day, you still have to bring these guys in, right? Which I've always believed in this. But I usually believe in giving young guys a chance. Right. And some people are like, I'm like, no, but like, you still got to bring them in and they have to play soccer, and then we have to evaluate, and we all have different viewpoints and we're all going to evaluate it differently. But I'll tell you what I saw Luna do tonight, I have not seen that once from Tillman. And the argument for Tillman has always been, right, much like we all do, like, well, the team team didn't play well tonight. And I think that's fair sometimes, but the team didn't play well tonight and Luna still found a way to make some impact, right? And the team hasn't played well in a lot of Tillman's games. They have played well in some of Tillman's games, to be honest. And I have never seen anything special. Like I've seen some solid performances, but he's never been a guy that at the end of the game, and I've been waiting for it. I've been following Tillman since his Germany days, and I've been like jacked up about him and his upside. And so, I mean, like I'm like a long-term Tillman guy. I've got a lot of stock, and I would love to be right about that. Right. And like, if you go look at my timeline, there's way more Tillman than Luna, like way more. But once again, let's just call it how we saw it. Like Luna kind of balled tonight in a game that we didn't ball. And he had some moments, and he like wasn't like, electric, but like he played well and he looked like a guy that could make impact in the final third, a guy that could, connect play in the way that we need up there. A guy
he was a spark.
And a guy that had some fight and some dog in him, and like, maybe it's just the sleeve tattoo that makes me think that, but like he does. And Tillman, certainly we haven't seen that. And that's like, that was the one positive probably of the whole camp for me. But if you're Tillman, a guy like Tillman, it's like, well, like, I don't know, is Poch bringing Tillman over Luna next camp? Like maybe he'll bring them both, but I don't think like that would be crazy to me if he brings Tillman over Luna after that. Like that would be wild.
I honestly, this is where things get a little crazy, but well, first of all, Luna, I don't think last camp was a fair assessment of him because he's playing Camp Cupcake. He's not playing with Pulisic. He's not playing with McKinney.
I didn't watch it, as you know, Will, and I don't even count it. So
yeah,
you give the Camp Cupcake update.
But, well, I'm just saying, like, he's played against a bunch of guys who aren't A-list USMNT players. They're not calling them up first. It can make you look worse than you are. but you saw him play against pretty much all A-listers except a couple, which we'll talk about a few of those because you have a strong opinion about Azimong and Sargent later. But when he played next to Pulisic and McKinney and Adams, he looked a lot better. He looked good, man. He looked like he belonged on the pitch. He did not look like some guy that was out of place. And now we will definitely talk about that with Azimong because I do agree with you in a certain sense. He did kind of look out of place. He was just the right place, the right time. But honestly, Adam, my hot take is that if Luna is going to be a dog, if he is going to play like he did tonight with passion, I think there could be an argument he does start on the left side. Pulisic play in the middle, Way on the right. And I think Luna could be our starting left midfielder, left wing, whatever, because
to be honest, like I think there has to be a shakeup, right? Like I think if you're Poch, and he seems to have said some things over the last couple of days that make me think. I mean, he shook this lineup up today, which I was fine with. Some people were like disgusted. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like it was kind of super lackluster. Like I don't know. I had some issues with it, but at the same time, it's like fine. It's a consolation game, and like you want to see. It's not like the last game guys lit it up. So I mean, like I was fine with the shakeup. I did learn more about guys that I don't necessarily love. Like first of all, let's just call this out. Weston McKennie was really bad this camp. Like other than a couple moments in the final third in the first game where he got his head on balls and he didn't his motor wasn't there. Like he was in the middle of the park today, but I like barely noticed him. Like I was calling for him to be there because I think he can be impactful there. He looked bad. I mean, and that was a bad camp. Christian Pulisic, that was a bad camp. Those were bad Christian Pulisic games, man. And like, was he set up for success? Like, no, but like he also didn't bring it at all when he got on the ball. Like there was nothing really going on. The consistency of Christian Pulisic, and then like Gio Reyna got 20 minutes tonight. And like, do I think he should have gotten more? Do I think he should have gotten a start? Like, I think so, just because I think you should see more out of him. But like at the same point, like I always used to say this to guys that like weren't getting an opportunity for us. It's like, if when you finally get your opportunity, it's the last 5 minutes of a blowout, if you go in and play like a, sad puppy dog, I'm not going to give you more. So like he looked like I was really tracking him because like Gio, I think is an X factor. He was like, guys weren't making runs, waving his arms. And like, he always does stuff like that. It was like over the top tonight. And when you're trying to fight for a role, just go in and dig, man. Just go in and put in a shift for 20. Go play hard, go shut up, and go try and make something happen. And if the ball's not getting to you the way you want it to, then play harder off ball and try. Like, there's just none of that. And I've seen him do that on the field for us. I've seen him have heart and, like, be a dog and be the way Luna was tonight where he was digging it. He was pouty tonight, bro. Like, and I've gone hard for Gio once again, but I got to call it how I saw it. Now, I don't think we should ban him forever. I still think that you've got to figure out how you can get the best on this team. You've got to figure out how you can get the best out of Pulisic and Gio Reyna and Weston McKennie, right? And Dest when he's back. And these are the guys that can lead us. If you're just going to punt on all that and say, it's fine, like, start the B team because they play hard. It's like, well, the B team's going to get grouped, guys. Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe that would be cool, but like, I don't know.
That's
like,
not maximizing potential to start the B team.
Got to figure it out, bro. Like, I don't know. But so I just want to call that out because I don't want people to think, they were soft on McKennie. Like, wasn't good enough, Tyler Adams, I don't know, pretty marginal, meh.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Yunus Musa, has been bad. Like, out of position, in my opinion, game one, but like, just didn't see anything. Like, I don't know. The center backs today, just awful, dude.
That's why Tim Ream is starting, by the way. If you had any questions of why Tim Ream is starting still at 38, you saw it tonight.
Like, and CCV, like, people have to remember, CCV has had bad moments for the national team, right? In his last 5-6, it's been a while because he was hurt, but like last 5 or 6 caps he's had some bad moments and some blunders. McKenzie always has been shaky with national team. I've just never seen it when he's on the field. But I get it. Like, Chris Richards wasn't spectacular. And Timmy Ream wasn't spectacular last game. Like, those guys had their moments. And so I don't know what we're doing with center back either, but like, I'm all good on those guys. Like, I don't know who else there is, but like, all set, bro. Like, we're good. And then let's talk a little bit about the striker convo, because I think it's interesting, right? I think a lot of people after last game were like, Done with Josh Sargent, done with him forever. I'll give you my take, which is Josh Sargent got approximately 200 minutes between the World Cup and the Panama game, right? Including the Panama game. Somewhere in the 200-minute range. That's literally like 290s, bro. Like, I just don't. That is the time when his club career has elevated. I have been very adamant. I don't actually think Josh Sargent is a top 5 league striker. I don't think he is. I think what he's doing in the championship is all you're going to see out of him. I think if he goes into a top 5 league, I think he's like doomed because he's not good enough for a mid-table to high-table team that's going to create. And then he's just going to be a striker for a low-table team, and he's not good enough to generate moments out of nothing in the way you need to be. You need to be, a bigger target striker because you're going to play more direct. You need to be faster because you're going to be on the counter. Josh is kind of a tweener. I do think he can play a role for our national team as kind of a Swiss Army knife, third striker. Like, I think there's potential there. I haven't seen it, and I'm not locked into it. I'm just going to tell you that, right? Like, totally open to other options. He is not as good as our top 2 guys, right? Put that out there. But I have a login to a friend's Y Scout. I try and not use it a lot. I used it after our last convo. I used it to watch some Azimong on Charlotte, all touches, right? I'll be honest, it probably was making my opinion biased tonight. I had my eye on him a lot tonight because I was kind of interested to see. He had a couple really nice moments in game 1 when he came in. That one run was awesome, holding the guy off. Like, the finish was pretty poor, but like I was like, ooh, that's pretty good. Like, haven't seen that guy a lot. Big physical. Here's my scout on him. Big physical dude, big body, very underskilled, very Daryl DK-like, Vasquez. Like, he's different than those guys, but like kind of in a mold of like an underskilled but big.
He's unpolished.
And I don't think he's that clinical. Like, he has 12 MLS goals in like 2.5 seasons, right? Or maybe he's only played a season and a half because his first season he played a lot. But like, he's not producing like crazy in MLS. He didn't do a ton with his chances when he got them. For me, he scored a goal tonight, but go watch that goal back. He kicked it like in a terrible spot and it bumped off the keeper. Like, it was a really bad finish, in my opinion. It went in great, but like, it wasn't, I didn't gain a lot of confidence, and he was gifted it. And he didn't produce really anything else the whole night. And he was bumped. He's supposed to be a physical striker, but he was like bumped off by Bombito all night when we were trying to play direct. Like, he wasn't able to hold the ball up at all and like connect play to Luna or Pulisic, which to me is what you would want out of, if I'm putting a big physical striker, I kind of get the logic. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to play direct over Canada's press, right? Makes sense. He's going to bring balls down. We're going to, hit guys running up the channels. It didn't happen all night. Like, he was bad in those situations. And then there were a couple chances he had to make runs where it's like, he's just not making the run fast enough. He's not, he's definitely not Ballo, definitely not Pepe in that regard, right? So I don't see him as national team quality, just to be honest with you. And I do see Sargent potentially as national team quality. So for me, I wanted to give Sargent 90 more minutes against hopefully a team that gives, that we would be more open and create some more chances. That's where I was at. I was sad to not see him at all tonight. And I bet we won't see him again this summer, just being honest with you.
So my thing with Azimong is his physicality was definitely lacking tonight. That's a good point, especially with his size. He's like 6'4", man. He's a big dude. And kind of gives us an element we haven't had, an aerial threat, right? I mean, when's the last time we had a guy starting at striker that was 6'4"? I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but when you watched him play tonight, you could just see kind of like he's a little unpolished. He's not really good with the ball at his feet. A couple bad giveaways, or like they say his hold-up play is pretty good because normally that's what happens with an awkward, tall striker. They have to have good hold-up play. It's like our mantra, I guess, or with the big, lanky strikers, or tall strikers. But the problem with Josh Sargent, even though he is a better player, I don't think anybody would argue that he is better. If he went to MLS right now, he'd probably sell for $20 million. Azimong's not selling for $20 million anywhere. But the problem is when he puts on the kit, he doesn't score goals. He hasn't scored since 2019. And even though Azimong's goal, maybe you could have scored that, maybe I could have scored that, maybe anyone competent could have scored that goal, he still scored. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, man. You got to be able to score some goals.
Yeah, let's just disagree, right? This is the mindset that, to me, put Jesus Ferreira on the park for multiple years because he was scoring goals. So Sebastian Lletget, everybody always leaned on the fact that he had a nice run of scoring goals, even though a lot of those goals were against C-team COVID friendlies. Like, I don't think every goal matters, right? I just don't. Like, and I'm different than a lot of people in this, right? To me, process matters, right? Like, who's it against? What did it look like? How does it? And I say this with everyone, like, and how does it translate to what we need to actually do, right? When I watched his Y Scout all touches, when I watched that game tonight, I don't see much that's going to translate consistently. If you're saying that he is a striker, right, can literally be parked in the box, which he didn't even really make a run on that goal. Tim Weah can make a tremendous 1v1 run, drop it to Luna, and Luna can just do something really special with his touch to literally place the ball at his feet. And then he kind of kicks it off the keeper. Am I impressed by that? I'm not. Like, I'm glad he scored. But to me, that's not like, oh, man, Josh Sargent couldn't have done that. Like, I don't know. I've watched Josh Sargent for 2 years finish those plays. Like, I get that he hasn't done it with national team. He's played 200 minutes. Like, played 200 minutes. 870 of them were last game against like a low block. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't have enough information. Like, if you're going to go back to when he was like 18 or 19, fine. But I'm just not holding that against him. Like, I think guys have a chance to get better and elevate. And it's been weird. Since he's elevated with club, he's just been hurt every window. Like, he just has barely played. He played Poch's in 120 of those minutes were Poch's first camp, which also was kind of a mess team-wise. And no, he didn't score, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't think many guys score in that game. Like, I just don't. And like, if you're asking me if Josh Sargent would have been in the same spot that Azimong was in tonight and do I think he would have finished it? Yeah, I actually think he would have finished it far better. I think he would have if you gave him that sort of strike, I think he finishes it pretty clean. Like, but once again, like, we're literally arguing over a third striker option. And that's like what everyone wants to argue about. Like, for me, I'm just in the camp that, like, I think he has upside. I would like to see a little bit more. I would like to see him in a game that has some competent attacking to actually be able to judge, okay, like, does he fit with this group of guys? And maybe he just doesn't. But like, I know Azimong should not be at the World Cup. I just know it. Like, if he's at the World Cup, we're in bad shape. If
unless he turns the corner. I mean, yeah, like, I'm sorry, but like Brian White, like, if he's at the World Cup, we're in bad shape, bro. Like, if we're like right now, if we're at the World Cup with Josh Sargent, we might be in bad shape. But at least investing in him, I at least see some upside. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get it. I don't get running guys out there that to me just don't have a chance to make a World Cup roster. Well, I'll say this, okay? I agree with your sentiment about like who you're playing against, what's it look like, all that matters, man, because Jesus Ferreira is the king of the Caribbean, right? I mean, he is like literally just absolutely destroys them. I can't remember how many goals he scored against Caribbean nations, but it's
a lot, man.
Absurd amount, right? But I mean, like, Canada, they didn't put out like their B team tonight. I mean, I know that it wasn't the prettiest finish, but I mean, he still scored against Canada's A team. It wasn't like we're playing, Trinidad or the Bahamas or some, whoever the hell we're playing.
What did he do? What did he do? And like, did he do anything that a replacement level striker wouldn't do? Like, that's just, when I look at those moments, I'm like, are you doing something that a replacement level striker wouldn't do? When I look holistically at the game, right, forget about the goal, just movement, hold up play, how he related to guys around him, not even close. Like,
nothing special.
Oh, I think it was bad. I think it was like really bad tonight. Just to be honest. Like,
well, I saw a post and I actually agree with this. I can't remember who said it, so I'm sorry not to give credit, but our two striker options, obviously Pepe and Ballo, right? And then honestly, third, neither Sargent or Azimong. I saw someone say Haji Wright should be our third striker if it ever came to that. Haji Wright should play up top before probably Azimong or Josh Sargent, because I mean, he probably would be better up top for the USMNT.
Well, I do think Haji Wright. I wish he was here. He's a better option. He has more upside as well. Once again, if we don't have our top two strikers, we're in big trouble. I'll just be honest. Like, there is no one else right now. But like, Josh Sargent is like, the championship is not high level soccer, but it's also not super low level soccer.
No.
And if you watch the quality of his finishing, like what he's actually doing is really good, really confident, and like a lot of it could translate. Like, I really think that. I don't think he's in the conversation for the top two strikers. I see them both as a whole level up from him. I just do. Like, just
huge gap.
Even in their play, there's a big gap in my opinion, right? And it doesn't mean, once again, that doesn't mean, and this is where everybody gets it wrong, in my opinion. Like, Josh Sargent could have a couple games where he scores goals like Azimong scored tonight. And then people will be, oh, he's got to play over Ballo. And I'm like, nah, man. Like, I just look at player profiles and who has a better upside with the team and who, like, I'm always looking at that. And like, when I think about what Josh could be with the USMNT, if he puts it together, he needs some time to play with them. Like, I wouldn't give him much more. That's why I was kind of wanting him to play tonight, because I kind of want to just get out of the way, in my mind at least. I wanted him to play, and I wanted to see it again. And if it was like, if he got 70 again and did nothing, and like not even scored, if he just did nothing in that game, it would have been like, okay, man, like it is now time to like move on for a while, right? But like that didn't happen. And so I leave that game, right? And I'm not that passionate about it because hopefully our top two come back. But I leave that game saying, all right, man, we've got 200 minutes of Josh Sargent. Like over half were in Poch's first camp where we look pretty, kind of disjointed. And then 70 were against like a 9-man back line. Like, I just don't, like, if you want me to actually analyze it and be fair, I can't analyze much based on that. I just can't. And so like, we have to go back. Okay, well, what have we seen with Club? Well, what I've seen with Club is pretty good. It's not world beater, but it's pretty good. What I've seen with Club with somebody like Azimong is not great, just being honest. Right.
No, I agree. His club production is underwhelming, but
that's, I don't know. Like, you just, I don't think you can look at a one-off, like, he scored 3 goals. It's like, cool, you're going to get us in trouble. And like Poch seems to be putting a lot of stake into this January camp stuff. And like, we're going to get in trouble with that. Like, we just are.
Well, I think it goes to what you said about relationships. That's the most time he's probably spent with players was sure. I don't remember how many days it was, but I think it was like 2 weeks maybe. And that's probably
a problem, man. Like, because it is hard for coaches to like spend 2.5, 3 weeks with players and not get attached and not start to love the way he trains. And it's like, God.
Or Luna's broken nose and playing through it. I think that is probably what got Luna a call up to this camp, was just seeing that. I mean, he does have heart. Look, man, there's no way to sugarcoat this. This was a disaster. I mean, it was a disaster. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you win it, but just to lose like this is what the issue is. And you and I don't feel any better. We actually feel worse than we did before this started. We feel worse. Like, I mean, I think Turkey and Switzerland are probably gonna absolutely fry us before we start the Gold Cup.
I wish I could be optimistic, right? Part of my logical brain says, Adam, you're being a fan. Poch is probably working harder than you think he is behind the scenes. He's had 6 games. This team was broken when he got them. Most of these guys have spent 10 days with him. 10 training sessions, right? Some less. Some guys have been 1 camp, a lot 2 camp, only a few 3 camp guys, right? In terms of the Poch camps. So I'm gonna give you some alternate reality that actually isn't how I actually think, right? But like, my optimistic brain says, okay, 6 games, like, let's just think optimistically. 6 games in, Poch hasn't had a lot of time with any of these dudes. He hasn't had a lot of time to build relationships. He's been building relationships behind the scenes. We haven't seen it. It's not publicized. Right now, we've been through this like really bad moment. He's a really good motivator. Chelsea had a really bad start to last season, ended up being, I think, 3rd in the table over the last half of the year. Like, this is a guy who can get the most out of players if given time, right? That is where my optimistic brain is. I wish I could say that's actually how I felt and actually how I thought. It's not. I'm like, red flags, flares up, rescue us, like hashtag fire Poch, like that, like all those things are in my brain. I'm not there yet, but like, I'm like, oh my God, like, should we change before the Gold Cup and get a American yeller and screamer in who can at least get these guys to play hard? Like, once again, I don't actually think that either, but I'm like stuck between these 2 camps, man. And we'll see where I land. I feel like in about, a week or 2, I'll probably have a little bit more of a logical mind about it. We can come back and chat and be like, all right, hopefully what's actually going to happen? Let's have an optimistic, video. Let's talk for 30 minutes about where this could go if things go well. But I don't know how you feel like that as a USMNT fan right now, unless you're just totally detached from emotion. Like, I don't get it.
Well, that's what a guy said in our last video. He said that we didn't look bad. We created more chances and that we were being way too emotional. And that made me question, is like, do we really have a faction of our fan base that are that delusional that like we can do no wrong? Like, everything is just like we're misinterpreting what we saw with our eyes, right? Yeah, I don't know. I just if I had to, this is the last thing I'll ask you before I let you go, but if you had to give it a grade, I mean, it was a disaster, but if you had to give it like a 1 through 10 grade on this camp, what would you give it?
I mean, honestly, I don't. It's hard to give it above a 1 right now. Like, I don't like. I just don't get how it get. I guess we could have gotten blown out. Like, okay, a 3. Guess we could have gotten blown out in the games, like, and just roasted. We didn't get roasted. That's always in play. We could have just given up after giving that Canada goal up and given up a couple more, and we didn't do that. We actually did fight a little bit. We scored a goal. Like, it was a game. It's not like it wasn't a game. Like, there was a time in the beginning of the second, I was like, oh, we might actually get one and win this thing. Like, it's not going to be good. So I'll land at 3. Where do you land?
I'd give it a 3 just because I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. I mean, 3 is still terrible. That's terrible. 3 out of 10
It's
is
really
not good. But the positive is I think we saw that Luna works with this team. He gives you something. And honestly, Adam, it makes me a little hopeful that when we get Ballo or Pepe back, imagine what could happen if we have a competent striker up top and you have someone like Luna who can create, and maybe Pulisic gets his head out of his ass and McKinney. I mean, if this is what we look like at our worst, then what are we gonna look like when we're average? What are we gonna look like when things are firing in all cylinders? So that's a really I guess coping way to like spin it, I guess, of like what we could look like. But I mean, Luna looked good, man, and I am a Luna fan. It makes me hopeful that if he can keep playing, maybe get some gel with these other guys, that maybe something could happen there. But yeah, I'm a 3 out of 10. I do think Turner played a little bit better today than he did last game. A little bit better, not too bad, but I still
Was he tested?
not the first goal I thought he could have done more. He kind of stood there. I think he should have came out a little bit.
Yeah, maybe, but like that's tough, man. The ball literally
it's instinctual. It
double
is.
deflects to someone at the 6 wide open. Like,
I can't beat him up too bad for that.
No, I can never put that on a keep. But like, did he actually make a save though?
I think he had like maybe 2 or 3. I think he had maybe 2 or 3. Nothing crazy. Yeah, nothing crazy though. And that goal that David scored, I mean, he's not stopping that. I mean, that
no, there's nothing there. That's just an elite striker,
Yeah.
bending a left-footed finish around you. Like, I didn't think the goals aren't on him tonight at all. I just didn't see, like, I need to see our keeper make some saves, right? I don't actually think he had opportunities tonight. That's my point, right? Like, I don't think he was
no crazy
tested.
blunders either, though, like last game.
Right,
No crazy blunders.
So okay, so that's better, I guess.
A little bit. I mean, a little better, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like,
we got to take all our wins, man.
Tonight, no, yeah. But like, here's my last point. I'll leave you on this, right? What I've learned, if I had to say what I've learned now, it's that we need everybody healthy. Like,
yeah.
We cannot have a margin of error of like missing Jedi, and missing Pulisic, or missing Jedi and Weah, or missing both 9s. And like, we were missing a lot, right? I mean, we're missing, I think the wing backs, and we're missing the strikers, like the legit striker options. It's a lot. It's a lot to be missing at once. And I don't know where Johnny's going to land, but like, I really, really hope he can grow in, much like I hope Sargent can. And we haven't seen it from Johnny yet, but I hope he can grow into bringing a little bit of the dog and fight that I've seen that he brings to club, to bring that to the national team and like step up more, right? And like, we need a couple guys to like get more comfortable. Like, we just do. Like, that Luna just did a good job coming in tonight and being like, yo, F all you guys. Like, I'm hooping. Like, and we just need like Johnny to come in and be like, yo, F you, Tyler Adams. Like, I know you're the guy, but like, I'm the dude. And he doesn't have that. He's like, ooh, pass it to me. I'll play very nice. Thanks for letting me on the field, And that's what Tillman does. Like, thanks for having me here, guys. And we need guys that's like, nah, screw you. I belong here. And like, so we need everybody to be healthy, and we need a couple of the talented dudes who aren't showing up to do that. And we need Gio Reyna to actually be a soccer player. So like, there's a lot. And we need to have fight. And we need our coach to be like everything.
The stars
right now
have to align.
There. Yeah, everything. Like, is it possible? Like, I still believe it's possible with this team. But we need to start now. Like,
I honestly think by the Gold Cup, you and I, Tack, Levin Yanks, Pete, we will all have a sense of what this team is about. should be close to I think Des should be playing by then. I mean, surely guy's training now, so hopefully he'll be back.
I'll be honest. The Gold Cup is it for Poch. It is. Like,
Yeah.
if it's not working, like, he's gone. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I would not. You can't go. We said this when he was hired, right? I said the Gold Cup was going to be the culmination. To me, he doesn't have to win it. Like, because you can lose soccer games and outplay people. We just better be playing good soccer. And we better beat some of these mid-level teams, beat a couple of the, tier 2 Panama style teams. And then, okay, if you make a final against Canada and they play their balls off and you outshoot them and they score a goal, like, I'm fine, right? I'll be mad at the time, but like, I'm not going to say fire Poch because of that. But if we show up and throw a dud like this, like, we got to go in a different direction, right?
100%.
At that point in time, we can't just be like, oh, hopefully. It's got to be like, no, this isn't, we've given it a year and this is not working. And like, we got to get an emergency manager in here for a year, much like Morocco did, right? And like, I think you can't be afraid of moving on from Poch. It's early, but I'm just going to throw it out there. You cannot be afraid to move on from Poch before it's too late. And to me, Gold Cup is the checkpoint. And we need to be ruthless in a way that we never were with Berhalter, in my opinion. We need to be ruthless, and it needs to be like, it just, sometimes good managers, it doesn't match up, and it's not the right fit, or maybe he's not working hard enough. Whatever.
Some people forget that. Some people forget just because you're hired doesn't automatically mean you're going to be good at your job. Like, there's a possibility you're going to fail.
Dude, Shaka Smart went to the Final Four at VCU and balled. He's coaching at Marquette now and has them top 10 every year. He was terrible at Texas. It just wasn't terrible. For whatever reason, whatever happened, it just wasn't good. You see that in NBA all the time, right? Literally NBA championship coaches go totally flop and fail. And so, yeah, we can't be afraid to move on from the coach. As much as you and I died when we got him and we're so pumped, at the same time, like, I'm going to hold him to a standard, and I'm going to hold him to a standard a little bit quicker than I had to with Greg, because we got to move.
And the profile too. Adam, I appreciate you for joining me tonight for both these last videos. Make sure you follow him at Stan USMNT on Twitter, and also make sure you check out his camp review with Tactical Manager, which will be dropping tomorrow morning. I'm pretty sure. So make sure you check that out. Adam, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully next time you join will be under happier circumstances.
Hopefully.
Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.